Part 58. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 571. He seemed to be thrown in, and his face was already pale when he came in. After coming in, he saw so many strong people looking at him, and his face became even paler. I was thrown in to see the situation. Tengui said in a panic. Did you see it clearly? Zhang Zizai asked. I saw it clearly. You succeeded, we failed. Where is Lin Feng? He looked around dully, especially when facing Zhang Zizai. He was full of fear. Dead. The last person who came in was the only one who let me go, Zhang Zizai said. Tengui's face was as white as paper. He trembled as he looked at Zhang Zizai and said tremblingly, you killed most of the geniuses in our Zikan realm. You. Are there any other lines? Zhang Zizai asked. Anyway, our Zikan realm will not give up. We have other ways. We will definitely take revenge. Especially you are definitely dead. We have dozens of times more powerful people than you. The people from Zizu Academy, Lin Feng's senior brothers and sisters, will definitely cut you into pieces. The more Tengui trembled, the more he had to use such words to cover up his fear. Watch it. Zhang Zizai's mind moved, and the gate of the realm stopped rotating, but turned into colorful clouds, floating on the sea. It can also be seen from the outside that the gate of the realm has been completely closed, which means that Tengui will definitely not be able to get out. He knelt on the ground crying and looked at everyone in despair. What other ways can Zikan realm use to deal with us? Zhang Zizai asked. I don't know. Tengui screamed in despair. Zizu Academy is very strong, right? Lin Feng's senior brothers and sisters are all in the second level of the God's Well. How can they touch me? Zhang Zizai asked with a smile. I don't know. The old talisman master looked at Tengui and said, I have a soul-searching method. Let's treat this person as a puppet. I want to sort out all his memories so that we can have a concrete understanding of the Zikan realm. In this way, we can have a deep hatred and maybe use it one day. No problem, the Holy Dragon Emperor and the others agreed directly. No, Tengui's eyes were dull. Before he could struggle, he was completely frightened and fainted. He was controlled by a talisman general. Everyone looked at each other. We still have to be careful next time. After all, we have too many unknowns about the outside world. Even if the gate to the realm has been closed, it does not mean absolute safety. If there is any information, we will communicate with each other immediately, the Holy Dragon Emperor said. Everyone had no objection. Xuanhuan, we are very sorry about the matter of the Sun God, but there is nothing we can do, the Holy Dragon Emperor said. Well, Xuanhuan God nodded. She never looked at Zhang Zizai or talked to him. No one knew what she was thinking. Would she be afraid of his rise? It should be time to disperse. There is one last thing. The strong men of the Hades Palace, such as Baijin Mingshen, and Ye Mingshen and Wu Yi Mingshen, stood up. Their eyes fell on Ling Xian. Among them, Baijin Mingshen said, Girl, the blood prison talisman has been used. It's time to return it to us. It summoned me and asked me to take it away, Ling Xian said softly. She lowered her head slightly and said, I don't want other people's things, but it doesn't want to follow you. It is independent. No one of you can inherit it now. Unless you kill me, it won't be returned. This made the Hades gods a little depressed. You are talking nonsense. It's obviously you who stole it. How can the talisman have the consciousness to summon you? It's just made up by Ye Ling said excitedly. Or I will try to pass it on to you. If it fails, I can't do anything, Ling Xian said. Will you inherit it seriously? Bai Ye Ling doubted. Whether you are serious or not, your parents can see it, Ling Xian said. Everyone was not in a hurry to leave, so they just watched the excitement. Ling Xian had already taken the initiative, and Baijin Mingshen and the others also agreed, and asked Lingxian to pass on the blood prison talisman to Bai Yeling on the spot. The whole process was over from the beginning. The strong men present could clearly see that Lingxian was right. The blood prison talisman really chose her. Who said that the divine talisman had no consciousness? If the divine talisman could not choose a master, then anyone could be the master of the divine talisman. I don't believe it. She must have used some means. Bai Yeling cried, "Dad, kill her and we will take the divine talisman back." "That won't do," Saint Dragon Emperor said. "Seniors of the Underworld Palace, can I say a few words?" Zhang Zizai said. "You say." "The blood prison talisman did choose her. This is the will of the god talisman. I think it should be respected. But I also respect the ownership of the blood prison talisman. So how about this? Even if she borrows the blood prison talisman now, she will return it when she is old or no longer needs it, or someone who can inherit the blood prison talisman appears in the Underworld Palace. I can guarantee it for her. Then, the evolution source Ice Heaven punishment that you took away last time will be regarded as the payment for borrowing it during this period of time. How about it?" The people of the Underworld Palace gathered together to discuss. "Where did you get the evolution source such as Ice Heaven punishment?" Shen Xiao looked at him suspiciously. "I have a lot of treasures," Zhang Zizai laughed. After a period of discussion, Bai Jin Hades' god asked his wife to comfort the crying Bai Yeling and said, "We agree, but you must do what you say, otherwise, I will trouble you." Zhang Zizai. "Thank you, Underworld God." In this way, Zhang Zizai solved the matter of the blood prison talisman for Lingxian. The people of the Underworld Palace had no intention of staying here. After all, even the blood prison talisman did not recognize them. It was embarrassing to stay here, so they left first. Shenzong also boarded the Origin, and Zhang Zizai saw Feng Xiaoao and Feng Xiaoxiao. This beauty had a dreamy temperament, floating like a butterfly, and the key was that she didn't care. After she left, a smile made Zhang Zizai's heart warm. Zhang Zizai would never forget her. They had fought side by side on the battlefield of Wushan, so they were good friends anyway. If there was any benefit in the future, Zhang Zizai would not forget her. The only people left were from the Holy Dynasty. Shen Xiao had returned to them. When she left, she whispered in Zhang Zizai's ear, "When you plan to enter the well of the divine domain, you must find me. Otherwise, after you leave, I will turn your great Zhongqing city upside down and abuse your brother." She knew everything about him, which was a headache for Zhang Zizai. He could only quickly agree to this and be careful. "I haven't avenged the dragon soul jade yet. I might asterisk you one day." Zhang Zizai glared at her. Disgusting. Shen Xiao rolled her eyes and was about to pull Lingxian to go with her. Lingxian said directly, "I don't want to go with you. I want to go with him." "You?" Shen Xiao was depressed. It seems that when the three of them are wandering in the well of the divine domain in the future, the relationship will be very awkward. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Feng Qingyang. Chapter 572. Lingxian may no longer resent her for what happened in Zilangjiayuan, or perhaps she never resented her, but it is difficult for her to get along with her as before. If she has to choose, she wants to follow Zhang Zizai. People have long seen that Zhang Zizai not only gave birth to a daughter with a being who is said to have become an ancient god, but also grew up with these two little beauties. It is really enviable to have beauties by your side at this time. Lingxian has a mysterious temperament, ethereal and quiet, which is actually very attractive. The Holy Dragon Emperor still wants to cultivate Lingxian well, but now it is obviously not possible. He also has to worry that even Shen Xiao may be abducted by Zhang Zizai in the end. So, the strong men of the Holy Dynasty also left the east of the East China Sea together. Zhang Zizai and Lingxian looked at each other. "Then come with me to the Life and Death Talisman sect," he said. "Okay. Do you want to go back to Yanlongxiu to take a look?" Zhang Zizai asked caringly. I have been back. I was there that day, she said softly, her blood-red eyes trembling slightly. Maybe she saw herself going to Lingyanzai. Let's go. I'll protect you from now on. No one can bully you, Zhang Zizai said with a smile, looking a bit sunny. Yeah, she nodded. The setting sun shone on her face. Zhang Zizai realized that she was actually breathtaking when she was beautiful. It was just like the day when the wedding date was agreed, when she was wearing that dress and standing in the sun in the side hall. The old talisman master drove the flying talisman, and they returned at a terrifying speed. On the way, the old talisman master asked Zhang Zizai about his plans for the future. Zhang Zizai said, I haven't made a breakthrough for a while. I plan to practice in seclusion for a while, gather the understanding of this period of time, sort out my mood, and then go to the well of the divine realm to explore the way. If you need anything, tell me at any time, the old talisman master said. I want to take her into the fire life sea, is that okay? After returning to the talisman sea, Zhang Zizai pointed at Lingxian and asked. The old talisman master and the talisman kings looked at each other. From the perspective of the rules, it was a bit inappropriate. We should just pretend that we don't know, but it's better not to be too ostentatious, the old talisman master said. Young man, be careful to be moderate, Tianya laughed. Go to hell, what are you thinking? They thought Zhang Zizai was hiding a beautiful woman in a golden house, and wanted to have fun every night. This incident also brought a huge impact to Fu Hai. The old Fu master had a lot of things to sort out. Zhang Zizai did not ask about external affairs, and quietly took Lingxian into the fire prison. There were only two of them in this huge fire prison, and it really felt like a beauty hidden in a golden house. The spiritual energy here is so rich, and the scenery is also beautiful. Lingxian followed him and looked around curiously. No matter how beautiful the scenery is, it's not as beautiful as you, Zhang Zizai said. Lingxian was stunned for a moment, then her face blushed slightly. She smiled slightly and said, don't tease me. I have nowhere else to go, and I want to go to the well of the divine realm to have a look, so I followed you. Oh, you are not attracted by my beautiful face, Zhang Zizai laughed. Lingxian didn't talk to him, so Zhang Zizai couldn't say anything. In the fire life prison, Zhang Zizai was actually a little anxious. He wanted to open the door to the evolution world to see Lingling. He hadn't seen his daughter for a while, so of course he missed her. Lingxian was a trustworthy person, more trustworthy than Shen Xiao. So Zhang Zizai was ready to let her know. Just as he was about to open the door to evolution, Lingxian suddenly pointed to the clouds in front and said, what's that? Huh? Zhang Zizai followed her gaze and saw a dark shadow over there. It looked like an island. Life and Death Island, Zhang Zizai was shocked. He searched all over the fire life sea and didn't find the Life and Death Island. But this time when he came back, he accidentally found an island on it. Come with me, the legend says that the Life and Death Island can only be found by the Life and Death Talisman Master. Today it really came true, but how did Lingxian see it first? The two gradually approached, and after getting closer, they really found an island hidden in the clouds. The island is very small, probably only the size of a room. Zhang Zizai passed through the clouds and really came to a small island. He hadn't looked carefully yet, because he found that Lingxian didn't follow him in. He immediately turned back and found Lingxian still standing there after passing through the thick fog. He whispered, I can't get in. Try this. Zhang Zizai held her hand. She subconsciously pulled it back, but Zhang Zizai was thick-skinned enough to hold the little hand tightly and head towards the island of life and death. Sure enough, after Zhang Zizai pulled her, they were able to pass through the thick fog and the two stepped onto the island together. Let go, Lingxian said shyly. Tisk tisk, you are still so shy. Learn more from your sister. She is thick-skinned enough, Zhang Zizai said. If Shen Xiao heard what he said, he would definitely go crazy. Look over there. Ling Xuan's face was too pale, and she hurriedly changed the subject. She did see something. There is no doubt that this is the so-called island of life and death. The island is very small and can be seen at a glance. Moreover, it is all wasteland, and there is obviously nothing on it. But in the center, there is a box. That box was somewhat similar to the divine box that Zhang Zizai had seen in his dream. He was shocked and approached Ling Xian directly. The fact that he could come in here meant that he could open the box. Take a look. He held his breath and gently lifted it up, and indeed the box was opened. The moment the box was opened, a huge change occurred. Zhang Zizai was directly overturned. What was speechless was that he was overturned by the terrifying spiritual energy of heaven and earth. When the box was opened, a breath that was many times higher than the ordinary spiritual energy of heaven and earth swarmed out of it. The entire life and death island was instantly filled with this breath. Zhang Zizai took a light breath and felt as if he was in an area with dozens of times the spiritual energy of the divine sex first divine domain. He instantly felt refreshed. This was definitely a breath that was more advanced than the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. This is the divine spirit of the God realm, the spirit of heaven and earth that the ancient gods need to cultivate. In other words, the spirit of the God realm created the birth of the ancient gods. Ling Xuan's eyes trembled a little, and she was obviously very shocked. The spirit of heaven and earth in the God realm? Spirit of God. How do you know? Zhang Zizai's mind was blank. I saw it in Xuanhuan. Senior Longmo eventually became an ancient god. There was a lot of spirit of God in the places where he stayed. I relied on the spirit of God to cultivate to this day, Ling Xian said seriously. Senior Longmo, Zhang Zizai hadn't asked her what happened in Xuanhuan. It seemed that she and Shen Xiao had obtained good fortune, but it was a different fortune. Zhang Zizai picked up the box and looked at it. At this time, the box was constantly pouring in the spirit of God. In a blink of an eye, it almost filled up the entire life and death island. He found that the bottom of the box was actually a bottomless pit. The endless spirit of God came out of this bottomless pit, and the hole was only the size of a fist. But from the outside of the box was clearly sealed. The bottom of this box actually leads to other places. This box is something like a door to the realm, Zhang Zizai said confidently. He was very brave and stretched his hand directly into the bottom of the box. Sure enough, it was empty. He put his whole hand in, but there was no end. It should be equivalent to a door, attracting the divine energy, but it is too small, and people can't seem to get in, Ling Xian said. It is only the size of a fist, and even a bell can't get in. I guess mice or something can get in. Amazing. How can there be such a thing on Life and Death Island? I wonder how much divine energy is inside. Maybe it's endless, Ling Xian observed for a while and said. Does that mean that the other side of this box is the divine realm? Zhang Zizai widened his eyes and his voice trembled. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Feng Qing Yang. Chapter 573. In order to verify his idea, Zhang Zizai stayed on the island of life and death for half a day. During this half day, the box continued to pour out divine spirit, and the divine spirit in the island of life and death became more and more dense. If this box is really connected to the divine realm, what does it mean? Ling Xian asked. It means that we can practice with divine spirit like gods in the future. Guess how fast our practice will be, Zhang Zizai said. Then can we enter the divine realm through here? She asked. Zhang Zizai looked at the size of the bottom of the box and said, it's unlikely, unless we can shrink it. If we can enter the divine realm, it would be exaggerated. The creator of this box obviously didn't mean that. If it really connects to the divine realm, Why don't you take it out directly from the Life and Death Talisman sect? It will definitely increase the strength of the entire sect a lot, Ling Xian asked curiously. That's because only those who inherit the Lifeless Talisman and the Immortal Talisman at the same time can enter this island. At least in the past tens of thousands of years, there has been no one who inherits both at the same time in the Life and Death Talisman section. It may even have never appeared. Therefore, this box is not included in the historical records of the origin continent. To be honest, a box that can connect to the god's domain is really amazing. Zhang Zizai found that their ordinary totem world seemed to have many incredible secrets. He tried it. When he used the divine spirit to practice, it can be said that he exceeded all the previous speeds. Not only did he have a huge advantage in speed, but his practice process could also be more stable. The true chi and holy body power forged by him could even carry the power of the ancient gods. The effect of using the divine spirit to practice on the flesh and the true chi is amazing. My body is forged by the divine spirit. Ling Xian looked at Zhang Zizai enviously and said, "You are so lucky. I guess many people who are about to become gods probably don't have the possibility of practicing with the divine spirit. If that's the case, you are lucky too. I said I'm protecting you. If there are good things, of course I have to share them with you." Zhang Zizai smiled. Really, she was still very happy. When she was with Zhang Zizai, she smiled a lot more. To be honest, connecting to the god's domain is really a bit exaggerated. Zhang Zizai would rather believe that there is a place similar to a space jade pendant inside, which stores a lot of divine spirit. How it is still needs to be verified slowly. He closed the box first, and then asked Ling Xian, "By the way, can you tell me about what happened to you and her in Xuanhuan?" "Just make it short," she hummed for a moment, and said, "It's like this. After entering, I have been subjected to tests all the time. I was almost dead, and then I encountered the question. She survived, got the guidance of many ancestral dragon souls, and inherited the divine fire talisman. I thought I was dead, but I didn't expect that I was not dead. The previous owner of the source talisman, Dragon Demon, left his divine clone to save me. He was not on the same side as those ancestral dragon souls. He guided me a lot, including using divine energy to make me make rapid progress within 2 years. When he left, he taught me how to control the dragon beast and asked me to come to his ruins to inherit the source talisman. I didn't expect you all would come. I see, it seems that I took away something that originally belonged to you. After all, the previous owner of the source talisman passed it on to her." "That's not the case. Senior Long Mo himself didn't expect so many changes in the future. He was just the previous owner of the source symbol and couldn't decide the next owner." "Is he still a god in the god realm?" Zhang Zizai asked. He knew that the so-called divinity should have been left in advance countless years ago and was just completing a specific mission. "I don't know. Tianlong Holy Dynasty didn't have many records about Long Mo, which meant that the previous owner of the source symbol should have been very long ago." He also roughly figured out what happened between Ling Xian and Shen Xiao in Zilonjiayuan. "You chose to let her live, but she chose to let herself live. Do you blame her?" Zhang Zizai asked. She hesitated. "In fact, if one person must die, I would of course like it to be me. However, if she could symbolically say that she wanted me to live, it would be great. The result doesn't matter, but the process makes me feel very uncomfortable." Zhang Zizai understood her feelings. She should regret it. Let's see how she performs in the future. If she performs well, it's okay to forgive her. Zhang Zizai patted her shoulders and said. "Have you forgiven her?" She was talking about Zayu. Zhang Zizai thought about it. In fact, he had already avenged what he should have avenged. That was her past. At that time, she was indeed a little twisted under the indoctrination of her parents, but Shen Xiao is not that kind of person now. She has also grown up. Let's see in the future. If she behaves well, it's okay to forgive her. I am not a person who holds grudges. Although this grudge is a bit big, Zhang Zizai laughed. You are so nice. Ling Xian looked at him in a daze. What's the matter? Are you attracted by my gorgeous face again? Zhang Zizai said proudly. Ling Xian chuckled. She rarely laughed so hard. Smile more in the future, it's beautiful, Zhang Zizai said. Yet he put the box away first. It happened that this life and death island was his exclusive place. No one else could enter. It was very convenient to open the door of evolution here. Next, take it to a special place. Be sure to keep it secret from everyone. Do you understand? Zhang Zizai said. Okay, she nodded obediently. Zhang Zizai opened the door to the evolution world in front of her. What is this? The real evolution world. The place full of evolution sources. Ling Xuan's eyes widened. In her eyes, Zhang Zizai became even more magical. The two came to the deserted island of the evolution world. When he appeared here, the bell not far away let out a howl. Zhang Zizai, you big bastard, I have severed the father-daughter relationship with you. She crossed her arms, her eyes were fierce, and her mouth was pouting. Who taught you that? Zhang Zizai almost fell down. He brought Ling Xian in today, but this girl actually called him by his name. She didn't give him face. Wow, Ling Dang couldn't hold back for long, and immediately started crying. Tears fell down, and she ran all the way to Zhang Zizai. When Zhang Zizai squatted down, he hugged her. Daddy, Ling Dang misses you. She hugged Zhang Zizai's neck, and her tears and snot were wiped on Zhang Zizai's face. Zhang Zizai was stunned for a moment, and his eyes turned red unconsciously. It turned out that she was already a little life with emotions. It turned out that she had grown up slowly. It turned out that she loved her father so much and missed him so much. It turned out that he had such an important concern in this world. He shed the tears of an old father. This fresh life, squeezed in his arms, said that she missed him, and he suddenly felt that the world was different. He is everything to Ling Dang now. He can't die casually, because she will be sad for the rest of her life. What should she do if someone bullies her in the future? What should she do if she misses him but can no longer see him? She hugged her neck so tightly. In the past, he felt that he had no worries and could die at any time. Now, it is different. Many things in life can only be understood after experiencing them. After experiencing life and death this time, he knows how important it is to become a person who is strong enough to control everything. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 574. Although it has not been long since Zhang Zizai came in last time, a lot of things have happened. Fortunately, the evolution realm is still very peaceful, so Zhang Zizai is still relieved to leave them here. Daddy, this beautiful woman is my aunt, is she also your lover? Ling Dang tilted her head to look at Ling Xian. She was different from other women Ling Dang had met, so Ling Dang was very curious about her. Don't talk nonsense, you must respect your elders, Zhang Zizai said with a straight face. Ling Dang rolled her eyes, obviously not believing it. She hid behind Zhang Zizai and observed Ling Xian, her little eyes rolling, and I don't know what she was thinking. After returning, Zhang Zizai summoned his brothers and sisters and roughly told them what happened outside. The things about the totem world and the well of the divine realm were indeed a bit shocking, and it took Lu Dingxing and the others a long time to digest them. Is it possible to go to the well of the divine realm and then to the divine realm to find my mother? Ling Dang asked quietly. There is a certain possibility. Daddy must take Ling Dang with him. Her little eyes were full of grievances. Definitely this time when I came to the evolution realm, there are still many things to deal with. The first thing was to sort out the gains from the last fusion shield. That day, too many space jade pendants were obtained. Shen Xiao did not take anything. All the treasures of Lin Feng and dozens of others fell into Zhang Zizai's hands. In total, there were more than 20,000 ninth-grade spiritual stones alone, which was a huge fortune. In addition, there were a bunch of ninth-grade spiritual medicines and ninth-grade spiritual mines. As for totem magic weapons, there were many of them, all of which were above Kun level. Those they used themselves and those stored in space jade pendants all fell into Zhang Zizai's hands. The strongest totem magic weapon among them was Lin Feng's human emperor bell, which was the top Kun level totem magic weapon. It is said that the totem magic weapons of the Fu Wang and Palace Master levels are almost all of this level. The human emperor bell not only has a powerful attack, but also produces a double impact on the soul and the body when it is shaken, and can also fuse the body to form a shield to protect, just like armor. So Zhang Zizai directly eliminated the Nine Dragon Seal, using the black stick as the main weapon and the human emperor bell as the secondary weapon, and using the two in combination. He couldn't use the remaining Kun level magic weapons, so he asked Ruo Xiaoyu and the others to choose them. After they were selected, Zhang Zizai was going to give the remaining ones to the old talisman master as assets of the life and death talisman section. Of course, he left the best ones for his brothers in Dajiang Wangchang. Sorting out the harvest was a very refreshing process, and there was a feeling of making a fortune. After sorting out, he did the second thing, which was a very important attempt. In the evolution world, the most abundant thing is the evolution source. It is said that the source talisman can absorb the evolution essence of the evolution source to grow. When it grows to the extreme, it will form a god-level evolution source, allowing Zhang Zizai's totem to evolve into a god-level totem. He now has a bunch of evolution sources in his hands, most of which are below level 5 and are temporarily useless. He first took out the first evolution source to try. After all, it was the first time, so he used a first-level evolution source. This kind of evolution source was floating everywhere in the ocean around it. Lingling took a bunch of it as a toy. The source talisman has been integrated into the body. When Zhang Zizai acted with his mind, white totem patterns emerged from his body. When he approached with the evolution source in his hand, the stone suddenly dimmed, and the light in it was all integrated into Zhang Zizai's source symbol. The totem pattern of the source symbol changed a little, with a little more strokes, which seemed to be successful. Continue. After the success, he began to consume the evolution source frantically. Others could not have such a strong capital as him. Even the evolution sources below level 5 stored in the entire divine sect might not be as many as he had, so Zhang Zizai was really the most suitable person to have the source symbol. The effect of the first level evolution source was too poor, so Zhang Zizai started with the 5th level evolution source and continued to add it to the source symbol. Within a day, hundreds of evolution sources above level 3 were integrated into the source symbol, but it seemed that the source symbol was still some distance away from being fully developed. He was not in a hurry, and there would be time to collect more evolution sources. It is said that other people who have obtained the source symbol, in order to truly achieve the god-level totem, actually have to spend a lot of effort and search for the evolution source everywhere. My speed should be faster than them. If it is a high-level evolution source, such as level 7 or 8, it may be faster. One is comparable to hundreds or even thousands. It seems that we have to go deeper into the evolution world and find more evolution sources. He put aside the matter of the source symbol first, and focused on cultivation. It has been a while since he practiced seriously. This time, he summoned Lu Dingxing and others to his side, and then showed the box he got from the Island of Life and Death. What is this? Everyone felt the divine spirit, and for a moment, their lives seemed to have transformed. The spirit of the divine realm, the spirit of the gods, let's try the effect of cultivation together. This is too magical. They were stunned. Hurry up and hug your thighs. Bai Shenjin knew that he had earned a lot in this life. He was at ease being a younger brother, and he would have endless luck in the future. Whatever benefits he had, Zhang Zizai would never forget them. This time, they were given top-level cultivation techniques. These were the cultivation techniques of Xuanhuan obtained from Linfeng and the others. They were much more powerful than Fu Hai's techniques. There were 8 levels of techniques: Heaven and Earth, Xuanhuan, and Universe. Linfeng and the others' cultivation techniques were all top-level U-level techniques, which were said to be the highest techniques in the totem world. Except for Lu Dingxing, who did not change his cultivation technique, everyone else changed it. Lu Dingxing's Taishu Chaos Demon God scripture came from an ancient god, so it was naturally more superior. Now Baishanjian, Wanqian, Ruo Xiaoyu, and Zhang Yuning have Hong-level totems and Yu-level cultivation techniques. Such resources are comparable to the ancient son of the divine sect. Although their future cannot be compared with Zhang Zizai's, it only takes time for them to grow to an existence that surpasses Yishan. When Zhang Zizai possesses the divine spirit, they possess the third of the 3 major elements of cultivation. From then on, the skills, totems and the spirit of heaven and earth are all top-notch. Zhang Zizai does not believe that he cannot cultivate them into super strong people. Who said that geniuses and strong people cannot be cultivated? I will create them now. He has the evolutionary world to provide the evolution source, the box of the island of life and death to provide the spirit, and the top-level skills. With so many resources, he has the ability to create geniuses. If they can become gods in the future, it is almost equivalent to Zhang Zizai's creating gods. Since I have the ability to create geniuses, I will naturally create the closest people and trustworthy people. They are all brothers and sisters. Their strength will also be of great benefit to Zhang Zizai's future. He doesn't have to fight alone. How terrible is the spirit! They are still in the holy body realm, and they can break through a realm in less than 10 days. Zhang Zizai estimated that within half a year, they would all be able to reach the divine seal realm. Among them, Lu Dingxing, who practiced the absolute chaos demon god scripture and had a terrifying eye, would probably be able to achieve the divine seal realm within a month. Zhang Zizai did not envy them for being able to become stronger at a faster rate than he had at the beginning, because their strengthening was brought about by Zhang Zizai. As they became stronger, Zhang Zizai could only become stronger. When he temporarily confirmed that the divine spirit energy was indeed endless, he could not help but laugh. Next, it was his turn to make rapid progress. Before entering the well of the divine realm, one must have more capital. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 575. Zhang Zizai is currently at the 6th level of the Divine Seal Realm. The cultivation of the Divine Seal Realm is much more difficult than that of the Holy Body Realm, so his breakthrough speed is definitely not as fast as that of Ruo Xiaoyu and the others. However, the enhancement after each breakthrough is far beyond theirs. Totems, techniques, and spiritual energy are the most important elements of cultivation. My totem is the top-level universe-level totem of the human-level totem. My techniques come from the totem. Facts have proven that it absolutely surpasses the universe-level techniques. Now I have the divine spiritual energy. Zhang Zizai is not narcissistic. What is the unparalleled talent in the world? This is it. Moreover, he is different from other geniuses. His strength lies in that he is not only a genius himself, but also can create geniuses. He himself has the world's top resources. The evolution realm was opened by Xuanhuan Chushan by accident, and the divine spiritual energy is owned by the life and death talisman master. These two are the most precious treasures of heaven and earth, but they appear in such a desolate world. This is why Zhang Zizai feels that the origin continent is not that simple. Moreover, he still remembers his parents' departure clearly. He knows that there must be a secret behind all this, and he is eager to know. Therefore, he needs to go to the well of the divine realm, and even more so, he needs to explore the divine realm. The secret art of the 9 heavens divine beasts along has been cultivated to the 7th level, and the 7th level of the divine seal must be condensed on the totem sea. Dragons have scales like fish and belong to water. The divine dragon of the totem sea has already taken shape, but the external part is still blank. This blankness is the lack of the most important part, dragon scales. The successive battles made Zhang Zizhe more familiar with his totem, and he himself had a totem evolution, which brought top benefits. He didn't have time before, but now the time, place, and people are right. On the third day of practicing under the Divine Spirit, Zhang Zizhe successfully created the Fish Divine Seal and integrated it into the Totem Divine Seal. Breakthrough, his realm reached the 7th level of the Divine Seal realm. However, Zhang Zizhe felt that he could still go up in one go. After all, this time's fortune was too great, and with the nourishment of the Divine Spirit, his practice was more effective. Next, condense the 8th level of the Divine Seal, the Tiger Divine Seal. Dragons have palms like tigers. Dragon palms are like tiger palms. Communicate with your natal totem and condense the Tiger God Seal on the Totem C. This time, the cultivation was unstoppable. The Divine Spirit is really too effective. After more than half a month, he successfully condensed the Tiger God Seal at an astonishing speed. I have entered the 8th level of the Divine Seal realm. At this time, he was finally able to compare with the geniuses of the Purple Star realm in terms of realm. At this point, the Divine Seal realm has reached the final stage, and the only thing missing is the final Eagle God Seal. The dragon claw is like an eagle claw. The last 10th degree will be the great success of the Divine Seal realm, and only then will it have the capital to impact the heavenly source realm. The perception and benefits brought by the last totem evolution and life and death battle have passed, but even so, Zhang Zizhe is still confident that he can break through to the 9th level of the Divine Seal realm in 1 to 2 months. Now he is not in a hurry, because he can't spend all his time on the realm. After all, cultivation must go hand in hand in all aspects. Continue the Taigzi Universe Soul Refining Technique. After a period of interruption last time, now that the totem has evolved, he continues to practice the soul method. A few days after his realm broke through to the 8th level of the Divine Seal realm, he had already reached the bottom of the river of time. Now, what scraped past were dense gravels, all sharp like knives, constantly tearing his soul apart, and he still felt like dying. Fortunately, after it was over, he felt more refreshed, which was more beneficial to his cultivation. His soul was constantly transforming, and finally on this day, the quantitative change reached a qualitative change, and he reached the 5th realm of the soul, the virtual God realm. In the entire Fuhai, there are not many people who have the soul of the virtual God realm, at least they must be above the level of Fujiang. The soul of the virtual God realm is the enhancement of the virtual spirit realm. Not only is the ability to withstand attacks enhanced, but the control, manipulation, comprehension, and attack have also been greatly improved. It feels like the soul has become an entity, which can be transformed into a shield to stabilize the mind, and can also be transformed into a sword to penetrate the souls of others. The transformation of the soul brings about the transformation of the talisman. Zhang Zizhe is ready to start learning the Kun level talisman. The last time he saw Ye Chen use the Kun level talisman, he was really envious. After all, he is a totem talisman master. The better the talisman is used, the stronger the effect on the battle. First, he successfully drew the living shield talisman of the undead talisman system, and then learned 2 more Kun level talismans in preparation for the well of the divine domain. The first is the immortal chanting talisman of the undead talisman system. The immortal chanting talisman can heal many injuries and expel some bad conditions, such as the corrosion of Zhang Zizhe's death chi. The second is the piercing heart sword talisman of the lifeless talisman system. This is a talisman that attacks both the soul and the entity. It has a strong penetrating effect. When it is used, thousands of arrows are fired at the same time, and the lethality is very strong. Before he set off, he prepared a lot of these 3 talismans. When everything is ready, it is time to set off. Before setting off, he checked their cultivation situation. Under the nourishment of the Divine Spirit, Lu Dingxing has undergone the greatest transformation recently, reaching the 8th level of the Holy Body realm, and achieving the Divine Seal realm is just around the corner. Zhang Zizai is ready to let him work harder, maybe he can help him in the future. Ruo Xiaoyu, Wanqian, and Bai Shenjin are all around the 3rd level of the Holy Body realm. Zhang Yuning is almost there, just reaching the 1st level of the Holy Body realm, but compared to her previous level, it is already too much beyond the heavens. Lingling has grown up a little bit, and now she can run around in human form. Zhang Yuning has made a lot of small skirts for her, and she dresses up like a little princess every day. However, what Zhang Zizai is most concerned about is Lingxuan's cultivation effect under the Divine Spirit. How is it? I broke through a level. I used to be in the 5th level of the Divine Seal realm, and now I'm in the 6th level of the Divine Seal realm. She used to practice with Divine Spirit, and the Dragon Demon gave her a technique that also surpassed the U level, so she has reached the level she is today. Not bad. She has many mysterious powers. With her power, she can help in the well of the Divine realm. After everything was ready, Zhang Zizai set off. He first had to say goodbye to the old talisman master. Hearing that he was going to the well of the Divine realm, the old talisman master did not give too many instructions because he trusted Zhang Zizai. This is the information about the Zikan realm that I asked from the young man named Tengui. You can learn about it when you have time. He took out a book and gave it to Zhang Zizai. Zhang Zizai flipped through it and had a general understanding. These two are the Gen level talismans I drew. They are much stronger than the Kun level talismans and can be used to save lives, but there is a problem with the Gen level talismans. If it is not solved, it cannot be used. The old talisman master took out two very complicated talismans. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 576. What's the problem? To activate the dry level talisman, the owner must have strong talisman abilities, the soul must at least reach the virtual god realm, and it must be highly compatible with the talisman, otherwise it cannot be used at all. If not, the geniuses of the Zikan realm must carry many dry level talismans, and you will not be able to defeat them. Is there such a thing? The advantage of talismans is that anyone can use them, but now it seems that dry level talismans are not like this. Zhang Zizai can only try to see if he has the ability to activate these two dry level talismans. If not, it is useless to give them to him. This is called the Shenshan Zhenling talisman. It can summon the Shenshan to suppress the soul and has a strong control effect. Once you encounter an uncontrollable threat, you can activate this Shenshan Zhenling talisman to deal with the enemy, escape yourself or take the opportunity to kill the old talisman master explained. Zhang Zizai took the two talismans in his hand, felt them carefully, and used his own power to flow on the lines of the talisman. Do you have the book of the Shenshan Zhenling talisman? Asked the old talisman master. Zhang Zizai nodded. The previous generation of the immortal talisman master passed it down to him. Read this book more. When you understand it, you may be able to activate its power. Okay, he put away the two life-saving treasures. He couldn't use them for the time being, but he was confident that he could spend some time to think about it. That's all right, young man, go out and explore. The old talisman master smiled. Aren't you worried that I will throw away the source talisman and bring a devastating blow to our world? Zhang Zizai asked. Don't worry, go as soon as possible, otherwise after a long time, the Holy Dragon Emperor, the underworld god, and the Xuanhuan first god will regret it and feel that the source talisman is not safe with you, and want to take it back. Anyway, I think you are very good. This is the intuition of an old guy who is about to die. He smiled. I will definitely not let you down, Zhang Zizai said seriously. He waved his hand and let Zhang Zizai find his own future. You are not a fish in a pond. I only hope that I can see you turn into a dragon in my lifetime, he said. Zhang Zizai looked back at him once, and finally stepped on the flying talisman with Lingxian and headed east. This old man is very good, Lingxian said. In fact, Zhang Zizai didn't pay much attention to him. Now he found that he seemed to understand more than many people. Maybe he had lived too long. I'm leaving. Have you notified my sister? Lingxian asked. I have notified her. She will meet up in Dajiangqing City. Yes, the flying talisman flew over the origin continent and returned to Dajiangqing City. After returning, Zhang Zizai found that Dajiangqing City had changed. Many new buildings were built, including many more troops. Landing on the ground, Zhang Zizai found Zhang Junjian, who was handling government affairs. You're back. Zhang Junjian didn't know what major events had happened in the east of the East China Sea recently. Brother, have you proclaimed yourself emperor? Zhang Zizai asked after seeing him dressed up. The Flame Dragon Emperor died, and the people supported me as the new emperor and changed the country's name to the Dajiang dynasty, so I did it, Zhang Junjian said. Awesome, the ability and courage required to rule a country are actually stronger. I can't help it. This is my parents' request. I have to make the people of the dynasty happy. It can be seen that the new dynasty is already thriving. Where did concubine Su go? Shen Xiao was about to come, so Zhang Zizai asked. She became a nun, Tianming Temple, Zhang Junjian said. This ending seems to suit her very well. What about you? Are you still the master of the life and death talisman? It seems that you will have a lot of time in the future. You have already climbed to the top of the whole world, Zhang Junjian said enviously. Brother, I'm going to leave for a while, Zhang Zizai said. He told him about the changes in the recent period of time. Damn it, after listening, Zhang Junjian cursed. Hurry up and don't let those old guys change their minds. It will be bad if they want your source talisman. You are really amazing. How many cultivation resources are there? Give them to your brother. Zhang Junjian patted his shoulder and laughed heartily. Brother, aren't you going to leave with me? Stay in the evolution world, the cultivation conditions are better, Zhang Zizai asked. No, I have my own things to do. Zhang Junjian smiled, he pinched Zhang Zizai's shoulder, and said, but, quickly find me an evolution source, evolve my totem to the universe level, otherwise don't think about leaving. I don't want to wait for you to come back next time. Even Xiaoyu is stronger than me. If you have any cultivation resources, take them out quickly. He was not polite to himself. After all, this is a real brother, Zhang Zizai can give him anything. 9 Dragon Seal, this is for you. He left too many resources. Do you still need to practice the exercises? Zhang Zizai asked. No, I practice the best my father gave me. Zhang Junjian smiled mysteriously. Do you have any news about them? Zhang Zizai asked. No, he shook his head. If you know anything, you can't hide it from me, Zhang Zizai said. How is that possible? Go and make a living. Zhang Junjian smiled faintly. No matter how strong he is, he will always be a younger brother in front of him. Brother, what is your next goal? After the emperor, Zhang Zizai asked. You want to hear the truth? Hurry up and tell me. Well, I want to unify the origin continent. There will be no divine sect, underworld palace, and holy dynasty, only my dynasty. In this way, I will be the emperor of this world. He laughed. Haha, I think it's okay. The world is really too chaotic now, and there are too many wars, which is not conducive to overall growth, he suddenly said seriously. You are not serious, are you? Zhang Zizai said in astonishment. Being the emperor of this world is fun. I'm kidding, haha, this grandson, he really fooled himself. Zhang Zizai smiled. Brother, what realm have you reached? The 9th level of the Holy Body realm. I am waiting for your evolution source to impact the Divine Seal realm. How come you are so fast? Zhang Zizai was shocked. You know, the environment of the great Zhongqing city is very poor. Is this faster than you? After all, I am your brother, born of the same parents. How can you be the only one who defies the heavens? Zhang Junjian said. For some reason, Zhang Zizai always felt that his brother had begun to have a bit of mysterious color. Is it an illusion? He couldn't figure it out. Sometimes he felt that he was unfathomable, and sometimes he felt that he was very thorough and there was nothing wrong with him. Brother, do you think our parents are really gods? Zhang Zizai asked. Who knows? No one told us. If they are, we don't have to mess around here. It would be great to go to the god realm and become the second generation of gods. So, do they have any difficulties that make it inconvenient for them to show up? Or, do they have any enemies? What arrangements do they have for us? Zhang Zizai shook his head. Zhang Junjian thought for a while and said, there is only one thing I can tell you. What? Don't think too much, practice hard, and when you become powerful to a certain extent, you may know the answer. I understand. Zhang Zizai nodded. A few days later, Shen Xiao came in a hurry. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Feng Qing Yang. Chapter 578. Generally classified as a 9th grade source beast, it means that its lethality is comparable to that of a human race strongman from the 1st to 5th levels of the Tianyuan realm. A strong 9th grade source beast is stronger than Lin Feng, who is at the 4th level of the Tianyuan realm, and is comparable to a saint divine servant. Ordinary 9th grade source beasts are like Meng Suzu and Tang Qingming, who are at the 1st and 2nd levels of the Tianyuan realm. The reminder of the lightning sparrow is very small, just like an ordinary sparrow. It is precisely because of its small size that its threat is greater than that of other 9th grade source beasts. In terms of strength, it can be considered mid-level among the 9th grade source beasts. It should not be a big problem to deal with Tang Qingming and others. Sheng Xiao's worries are well founded. Although they are much stronger this time than last time, they are still in the Divine Seal realm after all. Without the Immortal Talisman, they are not as good as Tang Qingming and other geniuses in the Purple Star realm. Even if 3 people join forces, it is difficult to deal with this lightning sparrow. In such weather, Zhang Zizai actually said shamelessly that he wanted to collect the lightning sparrow as a gift for Lingling. The lightning bird had already discovered them. Someone appeared in its territory, which naturally aroused its anger and murderous intent as the king of this area. This area was the forbidden area for other source beasts in the entire Lazy. The petite lightning bird was furious, and it completely ignited the lightning and thunder between heaven and earth. Go! Shen Xiao's face changed slightly. In a hurry, she could only pull Ling Xian. At this juncture, what made her speechless was that Zhang Zizai not only did not escape, but went towards the lightning bird. The key point was that he was still holding a bell in his hand. Hey, her pretty face was full of speechless. Zhang Zizai did not escape, but she did not escape alone. What made Zhang Zizai look at her with admiration was that after knowing that Zhang Zizai was unwilling to escape, she actually wanted to come up to help. Go away, I don't need you, Zhang Zizai said. I'm afraid that you will die too quickly, and this lightning bird will target me. Shen Xiao frowned slightly, and his graceful body made him tremble slightly with anger. She thought that even if she went to the well of the divine domain with Zhang Zizai, she would encounter similar things. In the blink of an eye, the lightning bird burst into surging lightning, and a huge lightning network condensed between heaven and earth. The lightning bird was the center of the network. This was the lightning network it created. For a moment, his lightning network was overwhelming and covered them. If they were entangled, they would basically have no way to escape. Those lightning networks were enough to electrocute them into charcoal. When Shen Xiao was extremely nervous, Zhang Zizai remained calm and took out a talisman. When the lightning bird descended rapidly, he activated the talisman. During this process, his fingers quickly tapped the talisman several times, sending his power into the talisman. Then, the talisman loosened and shown to exert its effect. That's right, this is the Shenchan soul calming talisman given to him by the old talisman master. On the way back to King Zhang City, he studied the classics of the Divine Mountain soul calming talisman, and with his soul in the Void God realm, he successfully mastered the method of quoting this dry level talisman. The thing that the old talisman master gave him to save his life, he now used it without hesitation. In the flashing of the Divine Mountain soul calming talisman, an invisible mountain suddenly appeared between heaven and earth. All that could be seen was the shadow of the mountain. The towering divine mountain suddenly appeared between heaven and earth and directly suppressed the head of the lightning sparrow. With such a mountain suppressing it, the lightning sparrow looked really small. During this process, the lightning sparrow chirped sharply, and the lightning net it created suddenly disappeared. The terrible soul suppression made it stand still and unable to move. It was extremely weak in a short period of time. This scene shocked Shen Xiao. While she was stunned, Zhang Zizai had already appeared in front of the lightning sparrow. Is this a dry level talisman? What are you going to do? She was a little overwhelmed. Zhang Zizai's next action directly answered her. A dim yellow talisman appeared in his hand. The last time the 5 great divine talismans summoned the source talisman, they were all refreshed. Zhang Zizai had already used the immortal talisman and the lifeless talisman, and the remaining beast control talisman was still in his hand. He had experience in using the beast control talisman several times. This time, he directly used the beast control talisman to control the lightning sparrow, which was a little stronger than the snow fox. Because it was under the suppression of the Shenchan soul calming talisman, the whole process was very smooth. It can be said that within 30 breaths, Zhang Zizai's blood had been integrated into the body of the lightning sparrow and successfully controlled it. So cute Lingling was very smart and knew that the lightning sparrow had been subdued. The lightning sparrow fell into her hand. Her little hand kept stroking the feathers of the lightning sparrow, and she would be shocked from time to time. Is this the effect of the beast control talisman? So, you can command this lightning sparrow in the future. Shen Xiao looked at Zhang Zizai with a strange expression. That's natural. Why are you so lucky? I feel that your divine talismans are more useful than mine, Shen Xiao pouted. You are so lucky to be able to follow someone as handsome and talented as me, Zhang Zizai said seriously. Daddy is not handsome, but ugly. Aunt Shen Xiao is 10,000 times prettier than you, Ling Dang said suddenly. Zhang Zizai was depressed. Haha. She laughed so hard that she wanted to kiss Ling Dang on the face. It was so refreshing. You are cheating, Daddy. Zhang Zizai didn't know whether to laugh or cry. By the way, what's the matter with the talisman you just used? The old talisman master gave me 2 dry level talismans to save my life. You just wasted one. My daughter's favorite pet, this is not a waste. Besides, I want to use it to make an attempt. The box of the life and death island is still on the deserted island. With the size of the lightning sparrow, it can pass through. There is no rush now. Do you have any evolution source? Guide me there, Zhang Zizai said to the lightning sparrow. Chirp, the lightning bird nodded actively. Its treasure was on this thunder tree, in its bird's nest. After going up, Zhang Zizai saw that its bird's nest was very large, at least 10,000 times larger than its body. There were various evolution sources stored in it, almost thousands of them. You are really a little money grubber, Zhang Zizai said to the lightning bird. The lightning bird felt wronged because it was about to lose everything. Don't worry, follow me, and you will have a good life in the future. After Zhang Zizai went up, he began to collect all the evolution sources. Basically, they were all evolution sources above level 4, and there were even more than a dozen level 6 evolution sources. These could be used as nutrients for the source symbols to promote the transformation of the source symbols. Are there any level 7 evolution sources? The lightning bird showed a depressed expression like the snow fox, but still obeyed. Under the thunder tree, he dug out a box for Zhang Zizai. There was lightning and thunder in the box. It was a blue stone, completely covered with lightning, with a lightning mark in the center. Why is this evolution source so similar to my heavenly punishment? Shen Xiao had long been deeply shocked by everything here. Because it is also called heavenly punishment, thunder heavenly punishment. Zhang Zizai smiled. The gift for Zhang Junjian finally came. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Feng Qing Yang. Chapter 579. After getting the 7th level evolution source Thunder Heaven Punishment, Zhang Zizai returned to the deserted island. This trip was fruitful. Not only did the beast taming talisman control the lightning bird, but he also got a lot of evolution sources on the way back to the deserted island. Zhang Zizai melted these evolution sources into the source talisman. Seeing Zhang Zizai absorbing a lot of evolution sources into the source talisman, Shen Xiao and Ling Xian were a little speechless. Those were things that people in the world wanted, enough for them to evolve into a desert-level totem or a flood-level totem, but they disappeared in front of the source talisman, and the source talisman seemed to have not changed much. I don't know how much evolution source it takes to consume a god-level evolution source. You have the door to this evolution world, and the speed of having a god-level evolution source must be much faster than others, Shen Xiao said. Is it possible that this world has a god-level evolution source directly? Ling Xian suddenly asked. Zhang Zizai was stunned for a moment. God level, to be honest, he had never thought about it. He turned back and looked deeper. In the center of the vortex, there might really be one. It's good to have an 8th level evolution source, Shen Xiao said. She was the only one among the 3 who had a cosmic level totem. Don't worry, I'll take care of your level 8 evolution source, Zhang Zizai said. Really? Hearing this, she looked at Zhang Zizai with new eyes and said, if you can really do it. What will you do? Zhang Zizai asked. Promise yourself to me, Lingdang suddenly interrupted. She had been playing with the lightning sparrow, and Zhang Zizai had forgotten about her. Even Lingdang made Lingdang laugh. The little girl was in a good mood after having the lightning sparrow. After returning to the deserted island, Zhang Zizai made a very important attempt. That is, he controlled the lightning sparrow to let it get into the spiritual energy box and go to the other side to have a look. Through the beast taming talisman, Zhang Zizai could see what it saw. He thought it could be easily achieved. After all, Zhang Zizai could control everything about the beast taming talisman, but this time something went wrong. The lightning sparrow was in front of the box and was about to get in, but when it was about to pass, it refused to go in no matter what, and even the beast taming talisman could not control it. This can only be said that with something beyond the control of the beast talisman on the other side, it felt extremely fearful. It was really impossible to control it, so Zhang Zizai could only leave it at that, and then leave the evolutionary world and return to the great Zhongqing city, and hand over the Thunder Heaven punishment to Zhang Junjian. Really? That's natural. Try it. I'll definitely succeed if I take action, Zhang Junjian said. Sure enough, within one day, his totem evolved to the universe-level totem, and was at the same level as the ancient son of the divine sect and the Tianlong saint of the holy dynasty. Thunder Heaven Punishment Kirin Totem. It's time to go to the well of the divine domain. After bidding farewell to Zhang Junjian and Dong Yangjing, Zhang Zizai, Shen Xiao, Ling Xian, and Ling Ling, who had been playing with the lightning bird, came to the east of the East China Sea. The colorful vortex has now turned into clouds. Next to the clouds, people from the holy dynasty, the divine sect, and the underworld palace are guarding here. The one guarding here in the divine sect is the holy divine servant Shi Jian. Zhang Zizai, are you sure you want to go to the well of the divine domain now? Shi Jian asked in a deep voice. Why else would you come here? Zhang Zizai said as he opened the well of the divine realm. It's only been over a month, and the remaining geniuses in the Purple Star realm must still be waiting for you on the other side. I'm afraid your journey to the well of the divine realm will end just as it begins. That has nothing to do with you. Once you die, the source talisman will be lost, of course it has something to do with you, Shi Jian said seriously. I also think it's necessary to think about it. It's too early, the Hades general of the Hades palace said. You can't control me, Zhang Zizai suddenly laughed. At this moment, the lightning bird suddenly appeared, and in an instant, a huge electric net appeared out of thin air, directly separating Zhang Zizai from them. The electric net that suddenly appeared enveloped the three of them. Before they could react, they broke through the lightning net, and Zhang Zizai had already rushed into the gate of the realm with the four of them, and disappeared in front of them in the blink of an eye. Under Zhang Zizai's instructions, Shen Xiao left quietly this time and did not tell the Holy Dragon Emperor. Zhang Zizai knew that they would hinder him, and it turned out to be true. If it weren't for this, he wouldn't have to rush to the evolution realm to use the beast-taming talisman. Of course, he also knew that there must be many people from the Purple Star realm waiting for him to come out on the other side of the domain gate. Seeing that the domain gate was closed, I believe they already knew that Zhang Zizai had already started a killing spree and had killed Lin Feng. Passing through the domain gate, the surrounding scenery kept changing. In an instant, they fell from another colorful vortex. Zhang Zizai instantly closed the domain gate of the colorful vortex. When they came out, the domain gate had turned into colorful clouds, and immediately dimmed and disappeared. This was different from the colorful clouds in the East China Sea, where the clouds always existed. The well of the divine domain has arrived. Zhang Zizai looked around the four of them. The place where they were was a wasteland, full of desert and loess. The sky was dark, and yellow smoke and dust rolled in the sky like a river. There was a lot of sand and dust between the sky and the earth, blocking the vision. This was a very dry and hot place, much hotter than the midsummer in the origin continent. It felt like an egg would be cooked instantly if placed anywhere here. It's so hot. Ling Ling was already a little unhappy. Then let you go to your aunt, Zhang Zizai asked expectantly. No, Ling Ling refused cleanly. As soon as the voice fell, many people in the yellow smoke and dust approached this side. In a blink of an eye, more than 30 people appeared around Zhang Zizai. One of them was an acquaintance, the second disciple of Zhizuyuan, Qing Kong, who possessed the totem of the heavenly fox of all living beings. When her eyes saw Zhang Zizai, she trembled obviously. I didn't expect you to be so brave and come out so quickly. King Kong's voice was extremely cold. That can't be helped. I'm in a hurry to send you something, Zhang Zizai said with a smile. He took out a space jade pendant, and then took out a large jar from it, threw it in front of them, and said, "This is the ashes of your genius of Zikan realm. Take it back and let them rest in peace. After all, it is difficult to die in a foreign land. Lin Feng's ashes are also in it, but they are mixed together." Thank you very much. Qing Kong trembled all over. There were several young people standing beside her, and they all seemed to have reached the Tianyuan realm. It's only been a month, and the Wuxianfu can definitely not be used anymore. I want to ask you, this time, can you still keep the Yuanfu? Qing Kong licked his red lips, his voice extremely cold. It seems that you want to go with Lin Feng and Meng Suzhou, Zhang Zizai said calmly. They surrounded him, their eyes full of murderous intent. Most of today's time was spent on constructing the plot of the entire 5th volume. In fact, for the author, conceiving the plot is much more tiring than writing a book. I only wrote 2 chapters today, and I owe you 2 chapters. I will pay you back later. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Feng Qing Yang. Chapter 580. The genius of Zikan realm who is still guarding here is not only Qing Kong from Zhizuyuan, but also people from Xing Sword Sect, Tianhuang Palace, and Wanfu section. For example, Xing Ying from Xing Sword Sect is a genius who is as famous as Xing Ai. He killed my sister Nan Feng Qing, Qing Kong, I want to do it too. The other one is a man wearing a fiery red brocade. He looked at Zhang Zizai and the other two fiercely, and there was already a lot of murderous intent in his eyes. He is a person in Tianhuang Palace who is similar to Tang Qingming. His name is Nan Fengjian. He is the brother of the fourth son Nan Fengqing and also has the Suzaku Totem. In addition, there is Zhang Xiao from Wanfu section. They all came for the source talisman, but they just came late. After Qing Kong came out, they saw her panic-stricken look, so they didn't dare to go in again to give the Wuxianfu a death. They can only wait. They never expected that they would really wait for Zhang Zizai to come out. Now in order to prevent Zhang Zizai from escaping, they have surrounded the surroundings. Everyone wants to take action, but there are only three prey. Xingning, I'll give you this woman. Nan Fengjian, I'll give you this one. I'll deal with this person. Qing Kong made his own arrangements. They are both culprits. Then don't kill them easily. It's better to take them all back and let the elders deal with them. They have infinite ways to make these three people regret coming to this world, Nan Fengjian said. No problem. King Kong's eyes were extremely cold. Surrounded by the crowd, she walked towards Zhang Zizai step by step. Her eyes were changing with illusory colors. A snow-white demon fox appeared behind her. It was her totem manifestation. The heavenly fox totem of all living beings. Qing Kong is good at illusory and seducing. She can kill people invisibly. Often, before she sees her take action, her opponents fall into illusory illusions, coveting her beauty and letting her kill easily. She has enough talent to enter Zizuyuan. But today, she doesn't want to use these methods on Zhang Zizai. She just wants to kill him directly. After all, she has the strength of the second level of Tianyuan realm. All her strength was gathered on her body. She came forward, and her eyes suddenly pierced with invisible ripples. It can be seen that her soul realm is very strong. It is a pity that such a strong soul realm does not learn the way of talismans. Her soul realm should be at the same level as Zhang Zizai, both of them are in the virtual god realm. At this moment, her spirit was like a storm, sweeping towards Zhang Zizai. Let me show you something. What she performed was a special battle tactic of the totem combined with the soul realm, or a kind of skill that can pierce the soul and make people fall into illusion. At this time, Zhang Zizai took out the human emperor bell and directly integrated it into his body. A golden bell shield surrounded it tightly, and the dense totem patterns on it directly blocked King Kong's attack. Human emperor bell, King Kong's expression became even more miserable. Hatred had completely swallowed her. She was like crazy, holding two daggers in both hands, performing a battle tactic, and oppressing Zhang Zizai. In fact, Qing Kong was not good at close combat. She used fighting methods that she was not good at in anger, so Zhang Zizai was not polite. He held a black stick and directly transformed into hundreds of clones. At the same time, he was protected by the human emperor bell. For a while, it was Zhang Zizai who surrounded Qing Kong. 5 elements demon subduing stick. 5 kinds of stick techniques burst out, bombarded repeatedly, and there was the human emperor bell to protect the body. With the attack of hundreds of clones, Qing Kong was suppressed by him and retreated step by step. Bang! The last stick directly shook Qing Kong away. After the power of the totem seal was improved, the combat power was indeed much stronger. Now he relied entirely on himself and actually shook Qing Kong, who was at the same totem level, away. What? He is obviously not at the Tianyuan realm. How can he be so powerful? Could it be that his Wuxianfu can be used again? Quickly retreat. People couldn't explain it clearly, and could only attribute this doubt to the Wuxianfu. In fact, as long as you calm down, you can find that Zhang Zizai did not use the Wuxianfu. He really relied on his own ability to defeat Qing Kong of Zizuyuan with the Divine Seal realm. Qing Kong was a beauty who swept the world in Zikan realm, a peerless beauty that all geniuses in the world desired, and had many admirers and supporters. How could a Divine Seal realm possess such power? Although Qing Kong did not use the fighting method she was good at. I guess it was the human Emperor Bell that protected him, otherwise he would have been defeated under King Kong's illusion. One repulse gave people a lot of speculation. This young man from Qingyang realm once again surprised them. Is this the number one person in Zizuyuan? It seems that I don't need to reach the Tianyuan realm, let alone the divine talisman, to defeat you. Zhang Zizai smiled coldly. He was purely testing his current strength. After breaking through the second level of alert, his combat effectiveness was indeed greatly improved. I'm afraid he would have no problem fighting against the first level of Tianyuan realm. Of course, if he really had to fight Qing Kong to the death, he should not be his opponent. This is the foundation of the Purple Star realm, and it is not something he can fill casually. He also saw his huge room for improvement. The Divine Seal realm is indeed amazing, but if it is just like this, you will be doomed. Today Qing Kong was unscathed. Zhang Zizai is indeed powerful now, but he is indeed far behind him after the Wuxian Fu was used. Go. Seeing this, Nan Fengjian, Xin Ying and others did not continue to wait and see. In order to avoid more trouble, they all directly attacked Shen Xiao and Ling Xian. There were still Zhang Xiao and others from the Wanfu section. They continued to shrink inside, intending to compress Zhang Zizai into a very small space. Kill. Almost everyone in the Purple Star realm rushed over. Seeing this, Zhang Zizai knew that there was no need to entangle here any longer. He fought with Qing Kong mainly to understand his current state. After having a clear understanding of himself, he directly signaled the lightning bird to take action. The lightning bird that was recovered after consuming a Shenshan soul calming talisman played a huge role after the geniuses of the Purple Star realm besieged it. The lightning bird suddenly flew away from the bell, uttered a piercing scream, and then the tiny body actually sprayed out a lightning ball with a diameter of 3 feet, bombarding the love space. Boom, the lightning ball exploded in the air, exploding into thousands of electric snakes that swam around, instantly entangled many people's bodies, and electrocuted them to scream. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Feng Qingyang. Chapter 582. I'll go by myself, don't come over. Zhang Zizai didn't bother to talk to her and jumped down directly. He had a lot of talismans in his hand. At this juncture, he used the Great Shield Talisman of Living Beings. As soon as the talismans came out, he stood directly in front of the three. A large living shield was formed, and the tornado triggered by the wild lion slammed into it, but was blocked by Zhang Zishan. Kun level talisman, someone is helping us. The only girl was overjoyed. She thought it was a fatal situation and someone finally rescued her. Let's do it together. The three of them immediately cheered up from despair. At this time, they saw countless grey auras appearing from the side, heading towards the wild lion. This was obviously another attack from the Kun level talisman. This is Zhang Zizai's new learning, called the Heart-Threading Sword Talisman. It has dual attack effects on the soul and the physical body. What the source beast is actually very afraid of is the attack on the soul level, and Zhang Zizai is hiding without showing up. When this heart-piercing sword talisman, when it turned into a sword shadow that filled the sky and stabbed it, it actually roared. Although it was angry and unwilling to give in, it still turned around and ran away, and disappeared from their sight soon after. The three rescued people finally breathed a sigh of relief. Who saved us? Please show up and let us express our gratitude, the girl said with shining eyes. Zhang Zizai had returned to the flying talisman and landed with everyone. He appeared in front of the three people holding the bell. These three people are 2 men and 1 woman. Both men are relatively tall and thin, one is a little more enthusiastic, and the other is a little colder. When they saw Zhang Zizai and the others, they were obviously startled, because they seemed to have such outstanding temperaments, but with their Tianyuan realm, they could naturally feel that Zhang Zizai and the others did not have the Tianyuan realm. There is a fundamental difference between the Divine Seal realm and the Tianyuan realm. Excuse me, you three, is the eldest brother who just saved us yours? The girl looked at them and then looked around. To be honest, it's me, Zhang Zizai said. Brother, stop joking, that person just used a Kun level talisman, one of the young men said. Oh, I have a lot of Kun level talismans on my body, Zhang Zizai said. They looked at each other in confusion before they reacted. It turns out that the wild lion was scared away by your Kun level talisman. We are really lucky. However, we are still very grateful to you. If it weren't for you, we would be dead, the girl said sincerely. Brother, you seem to be rich. You can store so many Kun level talismans, another man said with envy. It was given by the elders in the family. It has everything you need. I tried my luck just now, but I didn't expect to scare the wild lion away, Zhang Zizai said with a smile. He could actually tell that when the three met them, they found that they were just after reaching the Divine Seal realm. They kind of regarded them as juniors, so they didn't even consider that Zhang Zizai's talisman was drawn by himself. Because Kun level talismans are easier to use, they will still prepare some Kun level talismans when they come to the Well of God's domain. Anyway, Kun level talismans are still very valuable. It cost you money this time, and you saved us. Thank you so much. My name is Feng Qingyu, and they are Zhao Zikong and Wu Sheng. How about you? Zhang Zizai also hoped that they would spread the knowledge about the Well of God's domain to him, so he tried to make some friends, so he also introduced himself. Although he found the two men a bit annoying, the girl named Feng Qingyu had a good personality. It's really too risky for you to bring your daughter into the Well of God's realm, Feng Qingyu said sadly after hearing this. Qingyu, this is someone else's business, so you don't have to worry about it. Zhao Zikong took out about a dozen 9th grade spiritual stones from the space jade Perry and said, Brother Zhang, this is just a small precaution. Use it as your own, the cost of the Kun level talisman. We have something to do and we have to hurry up. I can't accept this, Zhang Zizai said. Why? The value of my few talismans must be at least 100. Zhang Zizai smiled, and then said, however, I still can't accept your things. If you feel guilty, just make a friend. He slapped Zhao Zikong's face a little. Brother Zhang, don't be the same as him. Feng Qingyu was a little embarrassed. She quickly changed the subject and asked, we are from the Wanjiu divine sect of the Fengxing realm. What about you? Qingyang realm, Zhang Zizai said. Never heard of it, Feng Qingyu said. It's normal. There are many nameless totems in the world, Wu Sheng said calmly. Yes, haha, Zhang Zizai smiled. Brother Zhang is really interested. He not only brought his daughter to the Well of God's realm, but also brought two maids to serve him. Zhao Zikong saw the beauty of these two people and felt a little jealous, and couldn't help but interrupt. Stop talking nonsense, Feng Qingyu was a little unhappy. She quickly apologized to Zhang Zizai, Shen Xiao, and the others, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. As the saying goes, a dog can't spit out ivory. We can understand, Zhang Zizai said with a smile. Zhao Zikong wanted to say more, but Feng Qingyu glared at him before shutting up. I really don't know how to repay the three of you for saving my life. I'm really sorry. Feng Qingyu still felt bad. She came to thank them, but the attitude of the two people around her made even her embarrassed. You're welcome, Zhang Zizai said. By the way, are the three of you going to Tianxing City too? Feng Qingyu asked. Yes, I'm looking for a way, after all, I've never been there before, Zhang Zizai said. His reaction was very fast. Although he didn't know where Tianxing City was, for him who really needed to know about the Well of the Divine Realm, a city must be a place worth going to. I know the location of Tianxing City, why don't you let me lead you three to Tianxing City, Feng Qingyu said happily. She finally had a way to repay him. Then I'll be disrespectful, Zhang Zizai said. Although the two men were annoying, he didn't bother to pay attention to them in order to find a solution to the confusion as soon as possible. Qingyu, their origins. Shut up. The two men continued to talk, which would only annoy Feng Qingyu more. They didn't know how to repay the life-saving grace. What's the difference between them and animals? They took a small boat to travel, and their speed was not as fast as Zhang Zizai's flying talisman, so Zhang Zizai arranged them on the flying talisman, and then Feng Qingyu pointed the way. The four of them were in front, and Wu Sheng and Zhao Zikong were behind. No one wanted to pay attention to them. I'm also going to Tianxing City to find my senior sister Yu Lingzin, have you heard of her? Feng Qingyu asked. Zhang Zizai shook his head, I haven't been in the well of divine domain for a long time, so I don't know much about her. Senior sister Yu is one of the controllers of Tianxing City. She is very powerful among the more than 10 controllers of Tianxing City, Feng Qingyu said respectfully. This time, the ancient god gave Tianxing City 10 8th level evolution sources. Many people are going to Tianxing City. As the controller of Tianxing City, she has many Tianxing orders that can enter Tianxing Mountain, so we just went there directly.